On to the final part of the engine room today, which is your question of the week. Change is inevitable, but, resistance, a bit about like we were talking really just a second ago, resistance stifles progression. So why do you think that is?
So we hear a lot, I should say we talk a lot to customers, and it's that change mindset perspective, which you'll hear in the marketplace, buzzwords like efficiencies, right first time, agile. But really, what does it, effectiveness? It just means better today than yesterday. When we start having the conversations with our customers, we get to change the mindsets about actually redefining what you want out of your business. But until we ask them questions, and bear in mind we're doing it piece by piece, one customer by one customer, what we need to try and do in the business is try and help everybody to understand the monumental things of when people talk about, and we've said it already, Industry 4, how do we make it scalable? And that is what I think probably stifles that progression, because we haven't made it scalable to be able to take them bite-sized chunks. But when you talk about it in its insular way, so customer by customer, you're able to change them that mindset. But I just think there's a key to unlock somewhere that we haven't really touched on. We talk about an idealistic way and a very I think it is just an idealistic way about how we perceive and want the manufacturing industry to go to. But what we haven't got to is actually what are the milestone steps to get them to that place.
Yeah, I get that. So to be able to move to the kind of goal needs to be broken down into smaller steps that people, because when you try and make massive change, it's daunting, isn't it? It's like hugely daunting, and getting from there to there just seems, like you say, like Mount Everest. It's too big it's too big a mountain to climb. But if you think, well, actually, the first step is this step, and if almost there's a program of a generic program of the kind of steps to the goal you want to get to, then it just feels more achievable, and and also there's a sense of I've made progress.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's always a bit of a buzz, isn't it, when you've got somewhere? But sometimes it's a case of taking 2 steps back to 3 steps forward, and that's sometimes hard when you've got loads of pressures around you, like cash flow at the moment. We're starting to see a real spike in industry, and you want to just kind of retain a load of work and get more work. But actually, in doing that, you've got to bring furloughed people back on and pay that overhead. You've got to pay for material, all the other procurement part to actually manufacture that part. When before, we haven't had anything. It's like you're almost reinventing the wheel in your business. So how do you have continuous improvements in there to be able to take you to the next stage? And it's all about that change is inevitable, but we've got to be able to allow our businesses and our supply chain to help that resilience. It's all about partnership.
Matt, it's been a genuine pleasure to have you on the engine room today. So that was Matt Kavanagh, MSC. Thank you ever so much.
Thank you very much.